Now let's talk about Arthur and the True Francine, which is episode 14B. And here's our special guests, Francine and Muffy. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi, girls. How's it going? Great, Arthur. Same with me. I told you we're great friends, Francine. We think alike after all. Well, sort of. Okay, let's get started. This episode starts out with Francine scooting across a tree branch trying to get into my bedroom. Then she fell off. As I went to get Pal, Francine managed to get into my bedroom and grab 2 different colored socks. It was part of a dare. I see. Anyway, after Francine successfully got the socks, it was Muffy's turn to pick truth or dare. I picked truth. I would never dream of picking dare. I mean, what if I need to get my hands dirty or something? Anyway, Buffy's question was if she ever told a lie. Then Francine reminded her that she did, back in 2nd grade. After the title card was read, everyone was in Mr. Marco's class. Mr. Marco introduced a new student named Muffy Crosswire. She decided to give a little summary about herself via TV. After she explained a bit about the Crosswire life, Mr. Marco told her to take her seat. The scene then transitions to Francine showing Muffy how to play kickball. Except I was sitting on the ball when Francine kicked it. Ouch. Anyway, Muffy was about to explain what she did at her old school, but Buster explained she was at plain old Lakewood Elementary. When Muffy said her middle name was Alice, Francine was excited because it was her middle name too. We spell it the same too, don't we, Muffy? We sure do. Anyway, after a walk, Muffy showed Francine her room. You could say I was a bit spoiled. A bit. Anyway, Muffy then showed Francine a bracelet she got from a cannibal in Antarctica. She gave it to Francine to keep. Then the scene transitions to Francine studying for a math test for Friday, while Muffy was swimming in her huge bathtub. Let me tell you, my bathtub is the size of a huge fountain. I bet. Anyway, Francine wanted her and Muffy to study for the math test, but Muffy said that she didn't need to study math because at her old school, she taught math, like addition and subtraction. The scene then transitions to Francine and Muffy doing wheelies in Muffy's limousine. At the library, Muffy told Francine and Buster that the librarian said that they could watch movies if they were quiet. With popcorn, too. That sure would be considered lucky. Why wasn't I invited to it? Because you had to study? Oh yeah. Speaking of studying, Francine told Muffy that the test was tomorrow, but Muffy said she knew the stuff backwards and forwards. Buster went with her. The scene then transitions to everyone ready for the math test. Everyone? Oh yeah, Buster was nervous. Anyway, after everyone finished their tests, Mr. Marco collected them. The problem was Francine's and Muffy's tests were exactly the same. Muffy said that she didn't cheat. Francine didn't know what to say. I was sharpening my pencil during the conversation. Anyway, because Mr. Marco said Francine cheated, she got in trouble and had to stay after school starting today and all of next week. It was so unfair. I bet. Anyway, the scene transitions to me and my friends at the Sugar Bowl. We were worried that if Francine was punished, then she couldn't play in the softball game against Mighty Mountain. Without her, we were doomed. Then Muffy told us that she had won 1,000,000 blue ribbons for softball, even the national softball kickoff. Then Francine was seen walking while Muffy was in the limousine. Muffy asked Francine if she wanted a ride, but Francine didn't want to. You can tell I was mad at Muffy. Yeah. Anyway, Francine gave Muffy back the bracelet because they weren't friends anymore. She even popped a balloon and threw away the gifts that Muffy gave her. At lunchtime, Buster asked Brain if he asked Mr. Marco if Francine could play in the game, but she was still punished. The scene then transitions to Francine in detention. She stood on a chair, looked out the window, and saw her friends practicing for the softball game. Then the Mighty Mountain team entered the scene. One team member hit the ball all the way into outer space. The scene then transitions to a teacher tallying the score. It was all up to Muffy. Except I struck out. Yup. Oh, Muffy, how could you lie to us? Sorry. Anyway, after Muffy struck out, she had an idea. She went to detention to get Francine. She told her that she told Mr. Marco the truth about who cheated and that she was being punished for 2 whole weeks. So unfair. Now you know how Francine feels. Anyway, Muffy gave Francine the bracelet back and they were best friends again. After Buster had trouble hitting the ball, Francine came up to bat. And let me tell you, I hit it hard. Yeah, so hard that it landed next to the window where Muffy was looking through. The scene then transitions to Muffy waiting for a ride. Francine entered the scene on her bike. She let Muffy sit in the basket. Sadly, we didn't win the game. The good news is, though, Francine scored 2 runs. Also, the team decided they want Muffy to play with them, and that she could be scorekeeper. The thing was, she had to learn to add and not cheat. And that's how the episode ends. I'm glad we're still friends, Francine. Me too, Muffy. Me too. Well, Francine and Muffy, thank you for coming onto the show. Sure. Of course.